Good evening. Feels like the evening, but it's only the afternoon, 2:12 p.m. I've just got a new selfie stick here. I'm going to go this way and see what happens. Does that work? Oh, maybe. Bit of a worry, all this new technology. Anyway, let's try that. How are you, Donna? Anyway, Graham Little, and it's an interesting day. www.fightpharmacorruption. We might have found some today, big time. Many of you watching have no doubt already got the release that's just come out from a group of serious investigators, and I've retitled it. It was retitled Jill Hennessy's Lies Exposed. I've called this Facebook Live "Is Minister Hennessy safe and effective?" because there's been a big debate about what is safe and effective in the world, right from the CDC, who are setting the whole global health agenda. Sorry, health, was it? Or is it the fact they have disease in the name? Is that perhaps they're setting the disease agenda? Anyway, we have now a disease minister exposed. So it's now Minister for Disease, Jill Hennessy. And where is Mike Adams, please, when we need him? Someone get him out of bed. What time is it, Mike? It's a bit strange, this little selfie thing. I'll be better next time. But anyway, let's just summarise what's been going on the last 6 days. We've got a situation where I think Minister Hennessy was panicked last week and decided to throw a spanner in the works of all those freedom of choice mothers and fathers that have had generally vaccine-damaged children themselves. I think they were also worried about the release of the spider bite saga, which is biting brutally the CDC in the US. And that story hit all our shores on Thursday about 12 CDC scientists that came out. And so I think Minister Hennessy, with a lot of help, it looks like, from a man called Reasonable Hank. I've never heard of him myself. I believe he's been tormenting a few practitioners for many years. So I'd love to meet Reasonable Hank. And he's been obviously having fun with Minister Hennessy, the Minister for Disease. And so those tweets last week that hit media worldwide, probably, it's certainly around Australia, front page of the Herald Sun, and naturally also all the TV station, The Project, for example, and I believe it was on the ABC. I heard the radio, and there might have been others. We're getting a full list prepared of all those media channels that agreed with Jill Hennessy when she said she was getting these abusive tweets, very, very abusive tweets from anti-vaccine campaigners. Well. Put your hand up and let me know if you'd really love to send her an abusive tweet, knowing that this is just a total fabrication. Wouldn't that be nice if we could actually vent what we really like to say? But caution out there to all of you. I am a lawyer with my other hats, many hats. So we'll leave any nasty tweets to Jill, and we'll move on to examining what actually she got wrong. 14 abusive tweets, okay? 14, she said. Now, the post that's just been up, and probably on a lot of different posts right now, there were 14 different tweets, and she actually went into great depth in the video as well, which is in the link to this as well. The Twitter logo was attached to all of these tweets. Only 2 used usernames, okay? So she's invented 12 tweets without a username and 2 that did have a username. Now, one of the usernames does not exist. That was the one AUS Freedom 21. It's interesting she made that up, or was that Reasonable Hank? They've actually made up Australian Freedom 21. I think we should grab that. All people backing natural practitioners and vaccination freedom of choice. We know that username was made up and was never registered. And there's a reason we know that, so you'll have to read further. The second username provided was a funny name. It was called Wa Song Ko, WAWASONQUO, and that belonged to a woman in the Netherlands, actually, who'd never been active on Twitter. Profile contains 0 tweets, no images, no likes, and is following no one. So that was bad luck. The other, and that tweet, by the way, was at 220 characters, which I think I mentioned on Friday last week, beyond the 140 limit. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the evidence here. There's a long series of clever pieces of deduction and intense research being done. It's been taking, we're up to Thursday. This has been non-stop behind the scenes since Friday, and a lot of different people, I believe, are behind this, that are irate at what Jill Hennessy said, and it's quite outrageous. There is definitely a reference to a serial cyber stalker and bully. That's that Mr. Reasonable Hank. Might be time to... someone just gave me his phone number recently. I wonder if we'd like to phone Reasonable Hank today. That might be interesting, mightn't it? Let's see a chat to Peter Tierney, I believe. He says he is. Now, interestingly, the Herald Sun, the one to break the big story, this is an interesting point in the article. They said the title was, I've got it on the other page, hang on. The original title, Jill Hennessy gets abusive tweets from anti-vaccine campaigners. The Herald Sun actually changed this. Come to think, we need the media watch guide onto this, guys. If anyone had a chat to the guy on the ABC, he'd do this a lot better than me. Anyway, the next day, the Herald Sun panicked, realising that the Twitters were not made up, possibly after I made it pretty clear to the Minister for Health's #1 staffer, Pauline Ireland, late on Friday afternoon, and they changed it. It'd be good to find out what time, guys, the Herald Sun changed it. Was it after I gave that Facebook Live or not? That particular new heading in the Herald Sun was social media applauds the Victorian Health Minister for taking on the anti-vaxxers. Right, so that's interesting. So we'd better examine all of those Twitter screenshots are discussed in this article. Now, the Herald Sun published the article on the 20th of October with that heading, dated it, but the actual Twitter shots are the 21st that they quoted in that revamped article. So they've slipped up a little bit there, the editor of the Herald Sun. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt for 24 hours, and then we'll be having a further chat about the Herald Sun. Now, here's the punchline, guys. 10 of the 14 tweets never happened on any Twitter, but they did happen on secret or closed Facebook groups. So guess where the minister got 10 of the 14? And let's mention good old Peter Tierney. I guess he's not got his law practicing certificate at the moment. Neither have I, because I'm an advocate. And he's found these 10 quotes secretly inside the vaccination groups. And I'm not saying that there was anyone secret inside the vaccination group that led to my computer and all my belongings being somehow mysteriously removed on the Sunday, which has slowed me down a little bit, but not enough, Pete and the boys. So anyway, Pete's found 10 out of 14 in closed Facebook groups. So they were never said to Jill herself. They were said at the height of the drama, with a no jab, no pay, rush through Parliament by Jill and all the other state ministers and Malcolm Turnbull giving a big tick. And they've been pretending that people in those secret groups were actually harassing the minister. Well, it's a bit sad it's all come out. Minister complying, complicit, up to her eyeballs with Reasonable Hank. Good old Peter, and a few chiros around Australia probably licking their lips that the minister's conspiring with Reasonable Hank now in public. My guess is they've probably been doing it for a long, long time. And that'll lead me to another Facebook Live later this afternoon where, I put my thinking cap on and see what I can do to add to the absolute disgust. I mean, you'd have to be disgusted if you are a parent of a vaccinated child, and often more than one that's been damaged, that's exercised your freedom of choice not to damage another child, and to hear the vitriol coming from Minister Hennessy condemning you for alerting other parents and then putting a fake article and putting an absolute abomination of a video together and going on all the TV shows and radio and blasting you all again. So how much more does she have to rub people's noses in the ground, right? And I reckon there was one of the tweets there was mentioned the gutter. I don't know what Daniel Andrews will be doing. This isn't going to go away, Premier. This is not going to go away, the Premier. So you either sack her immediately and put someone else in as the Health Minister, or this is just going to go on and on and on, because it is not good enough. And we have a summit against corruption. Every single text, every single phone call, every single attempt to intimidate me or anyone else in my network or anyone else's network, you better be pretty damn sure you're doing it in a way it won't be uncovered, because this is part of a cesspit of corruption. There is a summit against corruption on the 11th of the 11th. I deliberately chose that date. I can't believe we've uncovered incredible corruption with the Minister for Health only how many days away? Tomorrow will be 15 days away. So, Daniel Andrews, would you like to come and be on the panel with the mothers that say, learn the risk? All vaccines are not safe and effective. Would you do that, Premier? I've given up inviting Minister Hennessy. We don't want her there. We want you. You're the one now that has to make a decision, respecting the wishes of mothers, fathers, siblings, grandparents. This is one of the most disgusting episodes in Australian political life. We are dealing with pregnant women. We are dealing with one-day-old babies. We are giving 8 injections to 2-month-old babies. We are rolling the sleeve up and giving another 8 at 4 months and another 8 at 6 months. And you know, Daniel, that is going to happen to adults. There is a massive, massive global population strategy. I didn't say depopulation. I'm not accusing everybody of trying to depopulate yet. But that is the strategy. All of us adults, we're going to have a whole smash of vaccinations. So let's get Daniel Andrews to the summit at the Melbourne Town Hall. Bear in mind there are 2 types of tickets, 3 types. You can pay $55. You can hear Brandy Vaughan there. She's definitely coming. I've spoken to her literally an hour ago. I know when she's coming. No one else will know that. And any interference in Brandy Vaughan coming, that will be straight as well into the legal system. I warn everybody, do not interfere with Brandy coming and sharing Learn the Risks. With the mothers panel, we're going to have an Indigenous panel. We've got a 3rd panel with the bullied and disgraced health practitioners, both natural and the integrative doctors and many of the other surgeons that have been vilified by AHPRA. There's a separate panel on that. And then we've got a 4th panel which is going to blow open the whole abuses across every other area of Australian life: political, financial, agricultural, food, air, water, right? You're going to walk out of that conference, probably the hashtag should be, and I'm not good at hashtags, but I better start. I think it's going to be hashtag OMG, oh my God. Because I get shocked every day myself, and I'm as cynical as the next person at believing anything that comes out of a politician's mouth. So I'm excited Minister Hennessy lost the plot last week. I can't believe she's lost the plot and forged tweets that don't exist. I mean, you're the Minister for Health, God's sake. I mean, I feel for your safety, to be honest. I pray that everybody is civil about this and pardons Minister Hennessy in the end, because I reckon she's probably got a gun at her head and she's been intimidated. You can't act the way she is unless she's been massively intimidated from above. So I do have a bit of empathy for her. I don't have any sympathy, but I guess she has been heavied. So bear that in mind, all you anti-vax people, and if there are any, most of them, as I know them, have actually vaccinated their children. So just stay calm. I rarely do, of course, you know that. And let's just focus on now the legal ramifications of this. Let's see if all the media flock to reversing and correcting their stories. And I'm giving all the media 24 hours. We've got a list of all of you. We know every person that spoke. We know every reporter. We know everyone on the project. You've got 24 hours to have a close look at what you said a week ago on the Friday, and then you have to come clean in the next 24 hours. Otherwise, you will be included in what the next Facebook Live will expose. So thank you all, and what an enormous effort's been going on behind the scenes. It's created a lot of tension. I've ruffled a few feathers yesterday. I nearly lost the plot, with just the inability to operate after everything being stolen. I still can't operate the internet. I still can't do a Word document. I'm getting there with the loan computer, and other people have lent me some money, so thanks to those. I'll calm down enough now to pull off with you this incredible summit. And I was just so excited to get the precise travel details from Brandy. So they're all encrypted. So if you think you're going to get your hands on those, well, good luck. Bye for now, Minister Hennessy. And Pauline Ireland, if you want to find a great health minister, now's the time to do it. And I want you being the head staffer. You're a special woman. Thank you, Pauline, and love to all of you. Bye for now. Signing off. Check out www.Fight Pharma Corruption and look at Eventbrite, Summit Against Corruption, and it's on my Peter Little timeline on Facebook as well. Bye now.